In my last video, starring Cubone and Indiana Jones, I really enjoyed combining different Pokemon with iconic people. So I was thinking, who else has an iconic look that would work for the Pokemon? And eventually I landed on Ace Ventura.
Tell me, Mr. Ventura.
Having an easily recognisable look with his wavy, surfy hair and Hawaiian shirt. I was flirting with the idea of combining him with Golbat, given his fear for bats.
What? Bat?
And then I remembered the insane scene from the second film, Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls. And if you've seen this film, I know you know what scene I'm talking about, where he is hiding inside a rhino and gets trapped there with the African heat cooking him alive, forcing him to make a sweaty exit from the rhino's rear, to the terror of the families watching him, of course. Remembering that immediately made me laugh, imagining it as a sculpt but with Rhyhorn in its place, and a giggle is the only reason I need to make something. So here we are. Back in the day, I would spend hours in the safari park trying to catch a Rhyhorn, because when it eventually evolves into Rhydon, he was a must-have to beat the Elite Four with. He looked badass, and if you had the right TMs, you could teach him Thunder and Flamethrower. What's not to like?
What's not to like?
Now, Rhyhorn's bones are supposedly 1,000 times harder than human bones. 1,000 times harder. I would not like to know how they tested that, but according to a certain search engine, the human femur bone is supposed to be strong enough to hold up to 2,721 kilograms. That's nearly 3 tons. So 1,000 times that is obviously 2,771 tons, which is no small feat.
And his feet, they're so small.
That means one Rhyhorn can hold over 18 fully grown blue whales. 18 blue whales, or 2.7 million boxes of Cocoa Pops. But hey, good news. When it comes to poachers trying to steal their head as a trophy, they don't stand a chance against Rhyhorn. Even if they ever tried, they will be chased down until it knocks them on their ass. Or the Rhyhorn runs out of energy and just falls asleep. As when they start running, they literally don't stop. They will even forget why they started running in the first place. So don't ever play fetch with a Rhyhorn, please. Although, if you're ever out in the wild and are chased by one, you could just make a right turn to safety. Due to Rhyhorn's short legs, it can only run in straight lines, so good for drag races, but I won't enter it into a Mario Kart circuit. When watching the first Pokemon movie, I always feel so bad for Rhyhorn. Because of his noob owner, he's the first Pokemon to try and take on Mewtwo, and obviously, he gets bitched up across the room with his psychic powers. That beast could manipulate the ocean, dude. Do you know how big the ocean is?
My storm will create my own world.
And you use tackle? Read the room!
Read the room.
I don't feel as sorry for him as I do Ace Ventura though, making that messy journey from the shadowy, smelly depths of Poop City.
Poop.
With this one, I like to imagine that if Ace Ventura was in the Pokemon universe, he would obviously be a hyperactive, egotistical Pokemon detective with a Chimchar companion nicknamed Spike. And on this day, he was hired by the notorious Team Rocket, Jesse and James, dressed up in a terrible farmer's disguise. After many failures to capture Ash's Pikachu, they hire him, spinning him a story that these cocky kids stole the lovable mouse and they want him back. Enter the montage of Ace hiding in ridiculous places. As part of the investigation, he hides inside the pouch of a Kangaskhan as one of its babies.
Mama!
Until he was rumbled when he tried to pinch some of her milk for his Cocoa Pops. He then tried to hide inside of a muck, but because he's made of toxic slime, his hair started falling out into his bowl of Cocoa Pops. He then was hiding in a school of Abracadabra, which was going quite well until he stole a Kadabra spoon to eat a bowl of Cocoa Pops. And as punishment, the psychic Pokemon teleported him inside of a Rhyhorn, and sadly, he has only one way to get out of him.
Disgusting!
Some people may not be as sympathetic though, as Jim Carrey has quite the polarising opinion these days, as his behaviour is not exactly consistent. From being an inspirational guru of motivation and spirituality who suffers from ADHD, to a narcissistic who takes things too far in the name of art, hypocritically judging vain celebrities for the very same acts he himself has committed and offloading responsibility onto another persona that he doesn't have to answer for.
That was not me.
But, in all fairness, I find it surprising for anyone to reach the levels of stardom that he has and stay relatively humble and grounded.
Stay humble.
But it's undeniable that he has brought millions of people joy and laughter over the years. Although he seems to be slowing down his career, with Sonic 2 being his last film, I hope that's not the note he leaves acting on, as amazing as Sonic 2 is. I don't have a Rhyhorn toy for reference, so I had to go off a few photos I found on Google. It was much harder smushing and conditioning the clay into exactly even plates to cut the shapes out of, but I got there with a few hundred turns of the pasta maker. Really wish someone would design something like this but for clay. It'd make it so much easier and quicker. Once cut, it was a simple case of sticking them on, and then, unfortunately, having to excavate his buttocks for enough room to shove an unlucky Jim Carrey up in there. The size ratio isn't completely right, obviously, but I would have had to make Rhyhorn massive to get Ace to be the right size, so I'm happy with the sizing I ended up with here. Ace only barely looks like Ace in that he is human with brown hair, but getting a likeness was never my strong suit. I'll do more humans in the future to practice, so if there's any people you want to see inside another animal's butt, just let me know in the comments below and I'll consult my therapists about which one to do next. I'll leave you now for the glamour shots. Thanks for watching. If you're wondering,
How can I ever repay you?
Well, the reward would be good.
then leave a like and subscribe. Have a glorious day.